The film begins on a stormy night, and a man is running. He uses the phone booth to talk to someone. The call, "You will reach Dr. Hero Martinez, who is in Italy," says she knew microbiology and working with NASA, the man says. His name is Ingo and he says that there are people dying because of something coming out of Martinez's tank. What? She has no idea what Wanzo is talking about. He says that this tank is in Australia. In the 70s, horror shows on Martinez's face. When you realize that this tank belongs to NASA. He disappeared for decades. Smart people are trying. She calms the man down, but the call quickly gets cut off. The man dies, and 2 days later Martinez arrives to the place, and there she meets Major Robert Quinn. To help her, he also has his company, Trini. Romano Martinez is shocked when she finds out that there are 2 people. But they were the ones assigned to investigate Martinez. You inform them that there is a space station called Skylab. It crashed to the ground a year ago. But it broke into pieces and an oxygen tank, it stabilized. Here, one of them kept it and he remembers it. He may be lying and people will watch him. But the danger is that it has a parasitic fungus inside it. He can adapt and move from one faction to another. She thinks this child touched something. He returned to Earth, and caused the death of all that was in me. The region, and then achieves itself with an antidote. Protects itself from any causes. Harmful allergy. Why are you asking me? Something like this. I followed you for space in the first place, and Martin says that this. They were to make antifungal medicine for pioneers. Space, they search the whole area, and Mabelagosh. Not a single living being. Martins meet the tank. She went to examine him and found out that the man was. He uses potatoes and soap to clean it, and he made people pay money for it. You see, the potatoes also let the parasite take over protein and it becomes stronger, and then you notice a crack. She is young, so she asks Robert to pull her, so that you don't see the inside. Then check the tank. It's good, and you will find that the creature becomes stronger. Suddenly, the being is standing towards her. Hold on, you see me discovering a body too. And it's not. Do you know that the parasite escaped? Okay, let's examine the body. You conclude that the man exploded, and after a while, Robert finds all the corpses on the rooftops. He is surprised. Why did they go there? And Martinez. She says that mushrooms caused them to do this. The way to control their minds and muscles because it multiplies. She says he must have touched another human being. Create a new species and collect a sample, but quickly. A parasite enters her body and infects her bloodstream. She starts to feel like she's not right, Robert and Trini. We discuss other possibilities when they notice that it is true. Martinez deteriorates quickly and she returns with the baby. He has complete control over his nervous system. She's trying. She runs while they understand that she has been injured. They are trying. They stop her, but she is floundering. Roberto Martin. In Arabic, you come down to hit them with fire. But Robert drops her on the ground and they enter. Struggle. She quickly grabs the gun and they ask who. Martins regains consciousness and is in better shape. In a moment, she removes her oxygen hose. She hits herself with fire and dies along the way. He will be summoned from the army immediately. And they export. The tank burns the whole place. They take the tank for a secret storage unit. They lock him in. Dome it. They use the sample to do this. Tests. 2 months later. Go beyond and we will reach the present time. Travis arrives. For the laboratory because it is operational, the security personnel of Griffin manages. He asks him to take the night shift and monitor the tank. At first, he remains hesitant, but he does not stand in front of him. A solution other than that it carries out orders. The manager says, if there is a girl who will join him in the shift. At night, Naomi walks and watches the units. West. An old woman named Mary appears there at night. She says that she needs to enter her warehouse because this is her anniversary and she is kicking. He tries to chat with her, but he ignores her. It's very urgent, and he came back suddenly. He hears a siren sound, but he doesn't talk about it. Great interest, and at the same time Mary She reaches into her basement and takes out a gun. She is very depressed and decides to end her life. But suddenly, you stop and decide to take a break. The first is Travis. He listens to music, and when he hears the sound again, it comes out. And he hears another beep sound. Then he talks to Naomi. He tells her over the sound that she is starting to check. The topic is immediately rejected and you refuse to talk about the side. You check everything, but you don't hear anything. He kicks and says it could be a simple thing. He says his name is Tick Naomi. Are you surprised why? You hear the name, but you don't know what he's saying is that he saw it. Big story, at this moment she got a phone. It makes her clearly upset. The track closes quickly. She says that her story is also long. The other greets each other, and she notices wax on his hand, and as soon as the sound whistles again, the two of them decide to investigate the matter by themselves. Robert stays asleep at night when he gets a phone call and you call him. One is that she is talking to him about an Arab woman with a gun. Model for sale with locking handle. He says he will talk to her too. A few minutes later, he tells his wife that this is a warning. He lies and gets out of bed. And back to Travis. Whoever invents that they call their manager. But Naomi, she says that he will start bouncing on him while she flirts with her. Suddenly they hear another siren and they walk away. The sound is detected as coming from behind a frame. Image. Yes, you suggest that they break the precaution. They see what's behind it, and then they hang up the picture. It's place again. At this moment, Naomi is coming to her. Another phone. But you are too lazy to say that. Her daughter's father made a mistake during her school days and not. She knows how to get rid of him, and then Trav says that they can't break the precaution, otherwise she will refuse. He is still under surveillance and cannot lose. The thing is, Naomi says she understood this from his tattoos, but he was alone. Non-violent, the matter is complete, and in the end, he agrees to do this. At the same time, Robert. Another phone comes out of a safe and calls the unit. They say that there is a warning about a breach in the temperature coming from the storage unit says it is. He knew that this would happen at the time of a grade change. Heat, but no one heard him say that he could. He will be there in a minute, but he needs a plane. A private car was waiting for him, saying they were late. In fact, there is an imminent danger. He will need all his equipment from a specific facility, but the woman says she can't. She does this, and he tells her that she can get permission from Jordan Gray, but don't tell anyone else. On this topic, he asked her about her name. Bagel. He tells her that she sacrificed her life and fought because of her position in the army, even if she wants to be saved. Her country of unknown power. It remains necessary. You help him with everything he needs, in agreement. She says that he will be at his destination within a while. And we return to the two dragons. They break their caution and find a breach in the therm system. He tries to look inside, but falls through an opening. Out of caution, Naomi examines the matter and says, the system is designed to shut down if the temperature changes. But she is not sure what might happen to her. The basement is sensitive to heat. So Naomi enters. Also, I wonder if he tells her that this is the place. It was an army warehouse. By 7 and after, clean everything that appears in the electrical circuits. They found him in a hidden circle in the basement. She says that they should explore the place, but it's just competition. He says it's locked. Show me a pipe ladder in it. She tricks him into going with her, but he doesn't. Convinced, she says that she is doing this alone, imagining. The map comes out and he says he can't hear her words about everything. He is easy to docile. Originally, this is what he found in Dahir before. That's it. However, he takes a second to think. And the other agrees to go and see each other. And Mike, Naomi's owner, suddenly arrives at the stores, Biban Alley. He's very nervous and he's carrying a gun. They walk behind the map that brought him to the tools room. The cleaner notices a frame, and it turns out a door. Hidden. They enter and it is clear that it is an office. Suddenly the alarm bell rings. They enter it and find it matching hazmat suit. A little later, they find the room that leads to the basement as well. They open the room and she comes downstairs. At least Travis Penzel made the first. Mike leaves a voice message to Naomi and says she didn't answer his phone. There was nothing in front of him. A solution, but it brings her work, is in. Help her solve it and he is ready to go in, but suddenly he hears a voice coming from the bag, saying he's not supposed to be awake, but the sound is. He is still working. He opens the bag and it turns out that it is a cat. Naomi, her inside is hitting her with fire and he's fanatical. But the cat jumped from there. Her face is deformed. She was infected with the parasite. Suddenly a shot appears above. Say hello. And she kills herself. Her body explodes. And the child. It spreads on the mic and also on the face of a deer standing nearby. The infection strikes Mike immediately. Travis asks Naomi about her daughter. She says she has a daughter named Sarah. And then 6. For years. She also says that there are hours that she regrets. I left her behind. A little later, they reach the door. Forbidden. Login. Yes, you say he can come back. If you want, just compete and start having fun. They can open the door together and discover a cattle pipe with standing water in it. But there is no source. Then they discover the source of the alarm. The sound is coming from inside another room. But he decides and passes it. After a while, they find out. A terrifying scene for Ferran's group. He tells them all, intertwined with each other, and workers eat with each other. They are covered in a green, mushroom-like sticky substance. The alarm sounds again and Naomi decides to look inside the room. You will notice that the fungus has come out of the room. Workers emerging from were spread everywhere. Under the door, Naomi is curious to touch him. But Travis prevents her from saying that the door is hot. And Travis says they should go now. The two of them go out together, at the same time. The parasite has taken control of Mike. And in exchange for orders, Naomi hunts the deer, and also get infected and join. Why? Robert is now on the plane. He thinks. The first incident. Abigail spoke to him and told him that you can't talk to Gordon Gray because he died. A year and you spoke in his place and your lord still came and he. The one who received the call and the one who says he is obsessed with this topic. He only has a year left. There is no point. Robert says they sold the place. But he still insisted that the place was closed and no one was there. He can get out of it, but Robert says that the temperature changed and no one monitored this situation. He let him run away, and whoever says he still respects him. But he is only allowed to take notes. He submits a report and is not allowed to enter Abigail. She hears everything and decides to act on it. She calls Robert from her personal number, and says it's her. I read research on mushrooms and they say they don't want to. This need comes out and will help him with everything he needs. He told her that the server was no longer secure, so she had to. The person on whose behalf you make all calls. From him I speak, you see me, but at this moment he is gone. He appears, but she quickly changes her words as he walks away. Without doubting the need, he asks him. Renee spoke because she is the only one who can prepare everything he needs, including the item. Number 7, and we return to Travis Eli. He does his own research on the facility that was there. It was there before, and they see a deer inside. They walk after him, and they find him inside the elevator. Alone, this shocked them, and here the story returns to Laura. Some time ago, the virus first spread. The first cockroach hit, and the cockroach arrived in a car. Mike, this is the way the cat got used to it. Then they notice that the gas is infected and decide. They call the facility and then they run upstairs and see. The deer was acting crazy, and suddenly ran towards them. They were able to hide, but it exploded on the spot. At this moment, Mike is also coming out from the elevator, but he is terribly injured. The dragon suspects that something is wrong, so he says yes. He hit her cat with fire, then asked her to open it. He stayed there until he fell asleep. She was shocked, but suddenly, he takes out his gun, but they run away before he catches up. He hits them and Mary wakes up to the sound of the fire hitting. Travis and Naomi are also running downstairs, but Mike, he walks after them like a crazy person. There is no way out. The warehouses decide and hide alone while the makeup artist walks away slowly from there, and they are trying with all their might. They stay silent, but suddenly a scout comes. He competes and this alerts Mike. But before that, he looked behind him and saw Travis pulling out the flashlight as he walked. From there they get up thinking they're in safety, but suddenly competition ruins everything. And he saw it, and Mike appears there, and he tries to break the door, but the two of them are using all their strength to lower the metal gate and the gates. It breaks in this process. Naomi will meet you, the facility number that connects to a military base. He competed and said that they should report to the army before Mike breaks into the place. At the same time, Trini informs Robert of the airport. It carries all the equipment, including item number 7. The two of them are walking, and after a while, Robert receives a phone call from Abigail, saying that there is 6 of her speech from the facility and with her on second line. Abigail delivers the call to Robert. He asks her to calm down and tell Naomi all the details. She tells him everything, and he asks her about the deer. You say that the deer was walking in the hallways, and Robert understands that he is finding new ways to. He develops, he asks her, she stays where she is and doesn't touch him. The virus, you are not supposed to talk to anyone but him. And I respect her reassurance that they will be good, and that it is. It will arrive in a minute. Naomi needs a threat. He competes, because he seems to be the type of person he likes. He runs away and says that he has believed in zombies all his life. But Naomi says that Mike is not a zombie, he says. They saw this with their own eyes, and the fitra spread further. They should try to stop him, but Naomi refuses. She has a daughter at home, so she can't risk it. Whatever the case, at this moment they hear Morsi's voice. All in and out, do you remember that this is the army? But Naomi, do you know that it is still early? This store manager Griffin, the one who arrived with him, was a gang. All his motorcycles enter the hotel. The remains of the deer, and he also takes caution. Al Kasra uses the microphone and calls out on him both. He is there because he steals a set of televisions and inserts a girl inside him. Its name is Cuba, and it feels like there is someone inside. But I don't care much about Roberto Trini. They arrive at the house deserted. They break the door and go out. Trini's box was suddenly hidden by the owner of the house. He appears with a gun. The son of Trini comes out and says she needed to get something and she was walking. Robert, this is the best place to hide. The need is for no one to doubt him, and then she walks away. From there, Robert promises to save a life. Everyone and Kix say they should go help. Kevin Naomi says she has a daughter too. She would risk her life for Griffin, the man said. He's going to be there a minute, Travis. He says that this will not happen. The man was what he looked like. It's suspicious, because he was vague about the mission, so he tries. He walks away, but Naum asks him not to open the door. He says that this place is the one that helped him first. What happened when he got out of prison and couldn't leave? People die. If she wants, please feel free. But he will do his homework in agreement in the end. She says she will help him, and they start carrying him. Televisions. One of them suddenly turns on a device. This alerts Mike, Travis, and Naomi, who hear the sound. They also walk after him. But Mike, it gets to them before you kick. He can do something. Mike will drown again. Eat. Whoever is inside then comes down the gate and runs after me. He competes, but before someone catches him, he hits him. With fire in his head, DeMarie and Mike explode. After a while, Griffin hears everything and prepares his gun, and Travis take Mary to a safe place. At the same time, Eagle is talking to Robert and she says, there are people who entered the facility from where? 1 minute, but Naomi doesn't answer the phones. Pure. Robert says he needs help from satellite immediately. The satellite will be watching. place temperature, and also if anyone, an injured person came out before she said she knew anyone. His research and do you know what he intends to do? She asks. If there is another way, it will answer. By refusal, and back to Travis Eli. He takes the gun from Mary and takes her to the place. Aman then went to Ali Griffin, the owner of Griffin. He takes all the things and walks from there. The other two meet, but Griffin does not know how to trust. In Trav's, suddenly people inside the warehouse. They start banging on the gate. Griffin asks. He opens the door, but Travis refuses, so he hits. He fights with fire in his armor and forces him to open the door, and because he has no other solution, he goes. There actually is, but in the end, he closes the door. Suddenly Naomi attacks him with a fire extinguisher in surprise. They and the two dragons can escape in the end. They manage to leave the facility, but Robert appears. There at this moment he asks them if they are good and they say yes and they say that people. The one inside is armed, so he says he will take care of me. Everything, and they enter it again. Griffin says. His friends don't have the keys, but they tear him out. Go and Robert have a gun and 4 material suits in their hands. Dangerous to protect him from the parasite, he says. They should go down to the basement and put a place there, right? There's a front with Travis saying this is a bomb. Nuclear and it will kill everyone in the city, Robert. He says the basement is a foot deep. The explosion will not harm anyone. Naomi says it is. I agree with him because the fungus spreads quickly, Robert. He says that after detonating the bomb in front of them, 1 minute for them to escape, and he will still be there and be killed. Any injured person trying to escape from a facility. Competition agrees and enters the mission immediately. The injured people come out of a warehouse and Griffin comes out. His gun, but they say they're good. And in full, and walk outside. Griffin, he notices a cup inside me. Suddenly it explodes right in front of him, and at the same time. Naomi and Travis are getting ready to go inside, and Robert. He stayed outside and started emptying the tires of all the cars. In front of him, one of them is leaving a facility. And I brought Robert's face and he could hit. The man is also on fire, but his back suddenly betrays him. It falls, and softness and competition reach the room.